About 5 years ago to the day, I did a run where I just used Pidgey to beat Red and Blue. It didn't go very well. To this day, Pidgey is exactly where it was 5 years ago. Among runs that finished, it is still the second worst. With that said, although Spearow and Pidgey are similar, they are not identical. Spearow's stats are definitely better. Better speed, better attack. But most importantly, for the mid to end game, we get the most powerful flying attack, other than Sky Attack, which sucks, in the entire game in Drill Peck. That gives me every reason to believe Spearow will be better than Pidgey, but by how much? Well, that remains to be seen. But first, I want to give a big thank you to a new creature collecting RPG, Portal Fantasy, which I think you guys might really like. Portal Fantasy is a beautiful pixel art RPG where you can catch, train, and fuse portals to use in turn-based battles. The combat system is really deep and interesting and requires you not only to use your unique skills and passives, but also have good team synergy. But Portal Fantasy is so much more than that. There's also a beautiful world to explore with both puzzles you need to solve and obstacles you need to overcome. There's many different places to explore connected by, you guessed it, portals. And for that extra personal touch, you can fully customize your character's appearance, outfits, and make it your own. And finally, Portal Fantasy is not a game just to be enjoyed alone. It is a fully online RPG where you can interact with other players and even battle them in PvP battles. So if this is a game that sounds like something you'd be interested in, well, good news, Portal Fantasy is either out tomorrow, April 16th, or is already out, and you can click my link to get it on Steam and to begin your epic journey. Alright, I don't even attempt Brock until level 15. The reason for this is Fury Attack. Fury Attack can land multiple hits, meaning if it does just 1 damage, that can be 2 to 5 damage, as opposed to Peck, which is guaranteed 1. I also have access to great moves like Leer and Growl. I know, but really in this battle, they really help versus both Geodude and eventually Onix. Because Onix, ooh, there's Bide. So first thing I want to do is go for Leer. Okay, come on. Unfortunately, Fury Attack can miss. So you can see how much damage I'm doing. Screech, I gotta just keep going for it because it can just go for Tackle and knock me out. Ooh, all right, go for Bide, darn. But you can see, this isn't actually going to be that hard. Spearow has a much better matchup versus Brock than Pidgey did. And it might not surprise you to learn that in our very next battle versus Brock, second attempt obviously overall, we beat him. So that's a really good sign for Spearow, and is a huge sticking point for a lot of Pokemon. Yes, it took about an hour to get to this point, 58 minutes in fact, but considering how low my expectations are for Spearow, this is really good. Actually, this is just genuinely good for many pre-evolved Pokemon, so go Spearow. But now we have to face off against Rival 2, and once again, I try to go for Leer Fury Attack. I get a 4-hitter, which is pretty good, and then Peck will finish it off. We can knock out Abra for free, but I have a feeling things are going to be tough. Rattata, I need to outspeed, Hyper Fang. I knew a Leer Fury Attack would work, and yeah, that combo works really well. If we can get lucky with Fury Attack after a Leer, it just stacks so well together, but it does require a bit of luck. We also should note that while we were praising Spearow's offensive stats, it's still pretty porous defensively. So I'm just going to go, yeah, see, Fury Attack can also miss. Ooh, nice crit. In Generation 1 only, I only got a 2-hitter there, but in Generation 1 only, I've mentioned this before, if Fury Attack crits, every single hit of Fury Attack will crit, which is awesome. Unfortunately, we still lose versus Rival 2, and this is showing you that although Spearow had a bit of a better time versus Brock, run might still be a struggle. And as it would turn out, I wasn't able to get a victory versus Rival 2 until I leveled up by battling the trainers, including the optional trainer in Misty's gym, which is perfectly fine. I do it all the time, but you should know it took 5 minutes. Not in-game time, real time. That's a lot of resetting. And I got a ton of crits in this battle. So this is a bad sign for Spearow. However, no, there's really no however. It's just kind of a bad sign for Spearow. Now, usually I'd go to battle Misty, but because I have absolutely no intention of battling Surge next, I can skip Misty and go battle Rival 3. So I can go for Fury Attack on Pidgeotto followed by a Peck. Obviously, I want to use Peck as much as possible, but Fury Attack's ability to hit up to 5 times is just too enticing. Spearow is fairly fast. You can see it outspeed a Kadabra. Unfortunately, we have had Fury Attack disabled, but after, I thought that badge boost would put me over the edge, but we were able to beat Rival 3 on our first try, but that's only because there are so many trainers between Rival 2 and Rival 3 that we deal way more damage, which means we take back less damage, and that's really the goal for Spearow. If we can knock out things quickly, our awful defensive statistics don't come into play. However, with many Pokemon, that just simply won't be an option for me, and that's where things are going to get tough, because Spearow is kind of a glass cannon, but a cannon that shoots pillows. I mean, they're shot at high velocity, and that can still hurt someone. Remember Maude Flanders from The Simpsons? It was a t-shirt, right? So, it's not nothing. But yeah. Well, now that I've beaten Rival 2, and as you can see, Body Slam not an option for a little bird, we can battle Misty, and thankfully, Staryu doesn't attack. Starmie probably will. And it outspeeds. And it goes for X Defend, but because of Leer, ooh, that was pretty good. And no Bubble Beam. All right, that was pretty lucky. First try victory, let's go. But yeah, as you can see, Water Gun did a ton of damage, and we were outsped. So we're not all that fast. So yeah, things are gonna get kind of tough. And I think you all probably know, if you're a longtime viewer, where our next major hurdle is gonna be. He likes mountains. He likes rocks. He just loves to self-destruct. The Hiker! So, while we battle the Hiker, this is an important time to talk about the fact that while my moveset is really good compared to Pidgey, compared to, literally anything else, I have an incredibly shallow and undiverse moveset. So, all I have is Drill Peck. I'm at level 29, and it does very decent damage. However, you can see it takes still, 5 hits, and even if the Geodude decides, I'm not going to go for self-destruct, even though Rock Throw has negative 10 accuracy, I think it's 60% in this game, or 65, which is absurd. The point is, when it does hit, it basically knocks me out in almost one hit. So how long is this going to take? Not as long as you might think. And I'm actually not even at full health. I lost my potions. So critical hits, because Spearow is fast enough, aren't that infrequent. But wait, there's more. Because Mirror Move can mimic moves like Defense Curl. And while, yeah, in theory I could have kept Growl, this allows my defense to be boosted against both Pokemon. So if either, the Graveler, goes for self-destruct, we have a victory. So Mirror Move. I think there was a person, I don't know if they still watch me on Reddit, who is keeping track of every move I've used in a video. Mirror Move, genuinely useful in a Spearow run. I don't believe I've ever actually used that move where I really had to, and it made an actual difference. So awesome. Something new in every run. But moving on, you know how I forget Erica in every run? Well, yeah, not this one. We're gonna need some more levels. Spearow sucks. I mean this with the nicest way possible, but Spearow sucks. And we're gonna try and make it suck less, and level ups kinda help. And a great place to get level ups is a gym where everything is a grass Pokemon. So we're gonna beat Erica, but before we do that, we're gonna beat every single trainer, because after you beat Erica, the trainers can't be battled anymore. I think most of you know that, but if you don't, now you do. Erica is pretty easy. I only had 3 Drill Pecks left, and that was literally all I needed. Oh, wait, no, I lied. I needed a Fury Attack. Oh well. I just assumed, okay? I assumed. I thought it would be 3. I guess I was wrong, Still doesn't change the fact Erica was very easy. But now we have to choose between Lieutenant Surge, who isn't going to be that tough, but I probably want to go into the Rocket Hideout first, because that's going to make Lieutenant Surge a little bit easier, and I'll tell you why in just a second. Now note, I said go into the Hideout, not beat Giovanni. In the Hideout, we get Spearow's best normal move, Double Edge. It's only base 100 power, and it deals recoil damage, which really sucks. But considering how bad my defenses are and, you know, electric-type Pokemon, it's a well worth it trade. Beating Surge also gives me access to Fly, which we're not going to teach Spearow because it's just inferior in every single way to Drill Peck. Instead, we have caught a Pidgey like normal for flying. But yeah, battling a bunch of the trainers in Rocket Hideout allowed me to gain levels, and on B3F, or the third basement floor, you can get Double Edge, which is a really good move. And it may even help versus Giovanni #1. Now, of course, we have an Onix, and Drill Peck is doing really good damage. But Rock Throw does pretty decent damage as well. Thankfully, it misses a bunch. Rhyhorn doesn't actually have a rock move, but it doesn't need it. Horn Attack does enough, and now by the time I make it to Kangaskhan, we don't have enough HP to withstand a single bite. I think this battle should be proof enough of how difficult this run is going to be. In fact, this run has actually already lasted 49 real minutes, which is about as long as Mewtwo took. I know Mewtwo and Spearow are very incomparable, but I just want you to understand the order of magnitude of difference. Sometimes it's really hard, even with the times, even with the levels, to truly understand what a slog these runs can be. Spearow, especially because there's a ton of rock Pokemon now, very big slog. Now, speaking of slog, these battles were not going very well for me. Even when I get some critical hits, some rock throw misses, I mean, I was at full HP to Rhyhorn, but one horn attack, two horn attacks, three horn attacks, not a single crit. So this is about as good a luck as maybe we could hope, but Kangaskhan, Comet Punch, Bite, and it's just not working. It's just not happening. And when that is the case, I know that if this battle is this tough, later battles are going to be just as tough. So if we fly to Saffron City, right away, although you can't access much, you can access the Fighting Dojo, and that should give me the boost I need, both in terms of some stat experience and just regular experience in leveling up. That will probably be enough to push me over the edge for not just Giovanni 2, but hopefully for other future trainers as well, like Koga, for example. And unlike throughout other videos or in this video, it's not as if this battle versus Giovanni where I returned was a first try victory. It actually didn't make as much of a difference as I'd hoped. This time I do get hit by a rock throw from Onix, which is unideal. However, this time he uses Guard Spec versus Rhyhorn, and it's both versus Rhyhorn and, as you'll see, versus Kangaskhan, where the extra levels made a huge difference. I'm only attacked once versus twice, and it's a two-shot versus Kangaskhan. This is exactly why sometimes you just need to level up just a little bit more. It makes battles way easier. But note, easier isn't free. For free, you want Rival 4, because Rival 4 is a joke. We are way over leveled. I mean, level 39 is absurd. So we're going to one-shot every single thing in this battle. I think the crit may have mattered versus Wartortle, but yeah, this was not a battle. In fact, this maybe have been a battle we could have gained some XP in, but because we didn't have the Sylph Scope, it just doesn't make sense to go back and forth through the Pokemon Tower. But in theory, there are lots of Ghastly to level up. Maybe it's something I'll consider at one point, but I just think it's usually too slow. And having to use repels to get rid of wild Pokemon encounters, which are very abundant, just doesn't seem worth it to me. So I mentioned that maybe fighting the Fighting Dojo would make Koga less terrible. I'm at level 42, which is very high. And that means I can two-shot Coughing. That likely means, oh, well, with a crit, it's still going to two-shot Muck, but it would have been a three-shot. So that's really good. And theoretically, with Fly, I could cheese Wheezing. And yeah, that was kind of what I was actually referring to. Maybe I could have flew over the self-destruct. I guess I'll just try again, hope it doesn't go for it. But Wheezing looks like a 4 or 5 hit KO. So we get a crit on Coughing, that's perfect. Muck's going for Minimize. I'm going for Agility to boost my attack just a little bit. Gen 1, very weird generation. And unfortunately, the Minimizes after I'm hit by Sludge probably isn't worth it. And then definitely isn't worth it as I'm hit by Coughing. There is no way I can knock out this Wheezing in time. Wait, never mind. I can. I was wrong again, but this time it was good wrong. Yay! I didn't think that would work. Thankfully, Smog misses quite a bit. And actually, funny enough, I have a full restore from the Safari Zone. So if you were worried Spearow would faint on the way back to the center, don't. You actually cannot dig out of Koga's gym. Some gyms you can, some gyms you can't. I don't really know the logic of why some work and some don't, but that was a good victory and a good full restore. And now we have to face rival Fievel, and that's going to be really tough. And I don't believe we're going to beat him at all, but I'd like to see how far away we are from doing that. He sends out Pidgeot, and it's going to be a 2-shot, but I get hit once, so that's not great. Growlithe, it's going to be a 2-shot as well, so probably a level up would help. Execute's going to be a 1-shot. Alakazam, I do outspeed and 1-shot. You know what? I might win. Okay, Drill Peck, Bubble, Drill Peck, Water Gun. Yeah. So the thing though about Rival Fievel Blastoise specifically is that although in the final battle it will have Blizzard, which is going to be nightmarish, in this battle having just Bubble and Water Gun is really, really bad. The worst is Venusaur because it has Razor Leaf, which would be fine against Spearow, but it's typically really, really bad. So Giovanni 2 is typically not too difficult, and I'm not even at full HP. It's going to take 2 hits to knock out Nidorino. Kangaskhan is going to take 2 hits as well. Rhyhorn looks like it's going to take 4, which isn't so bad. Tail Whip, actually, might not even attack me. All right, pretty good. And now the final Pokemon, Nidoqueen. It's going to take 2 hits, but I've been hit by plenty of Tail Whips, so that probably contributed to why it only took 2 hits. Still, a very, very solid Sylph company, if I do say so myself. Next, we have to battle Sabrina. So I actually think we're going to do well. We one-shot Kadabra and level up. We don't one-shot Mr. Mime, although we probably would have with Double Edge, but this probably gives us more HP. We will one-shot Venomoth, and I probably should have gone for Double Edge here. Oh, that sucks. Oh, Recover, maybe crit? Psywave? Oh, that's lucky. So Psywave can do, I think it can do 0 damage, but it can sometimes do 1, which is really, really funny. We got pretty lucky there, but Double Edge would have definitely been the play. Probably leveling up would have helped as well to outspeed Alakazam, but yeah, I'm pretty happy. All we have left now is Blaine and Giovanni, so we're doing really great. That said, we know the Elite Four is going to be kind of a nightmare, so this whole run may very well be the calm before the storm. The Ice Storm. Alright, first things first, we gotta battle Blaine. We are 4 levels above Growlithe, and we pretty much are just going to use Drill Peck here. Growlithe takes 2 hits, Ponyta uses Fire Spin, and that's going to take me to 76. We level up, so 78. We outspeed Rapidash, Retroactive Super Potion, another Retroactive Super Potion, and Stomp. So we're at 22 HP. Probably going to lose here. I go for Drill Peck. Fire Blast misses. I go for Drill Peck. All right. So this makes sense to be a bit of an obstacle right now. Blaine has pretty good Pokemon, and my defenses are terrible, and my attack isn't good enough to one-shot most things. Actually, anything. We could level up, but might as well try one more time, see if it's just bad luck or if we can get good luck. This time we get good luck, Drill Peck crit, and then Growl miss. That's perfect. So we're at full HP, 111, great number. Then Rapidash goes for Stomp. We're at 78 for Arcanine. This time I think about it, but I go for Drill Peck. We get a crit, Retroactive Super Potion, a second crit, and we beat Blaine probably a little earlier than we should have. But I don't really care when it comes to this battle because we're going to have to level up a ton before the Elite Four. So whether we level up for Blaine or we level up after we make it to Victory Road, makes no difference to me. I mean, heck, we still have to battle Giovanni, and that's going to be not super duper difficult, mostly because his rock Pokemon don't actually have rock moves, yay Gen 1, but I don't think it's going to be a cinch either. Alrighty, so against Rhyhorn, I'm going to set up agilities to slightly boost my attack. I mean, defense, speed, special, everything. And actually, the Tail Whip will further boost my attack. And you'll see that I'm doing really good damage, although when I get a critical hit, it doesn't actually count. Still, I'm at 62 HP, but I do one-shot Dugtrio. And Nidoqueen's now going to be a 2-shot, although Scratch does a ton. So this may be a bit of a problem, even though we knock out Nidoking, because we level up before Rhydon, and it just needs to attack us a single time, and we faint. Had we not leveled up there, we would have maintained those illegitimate boosts, badge boosts, if you will, but we probably have to manipulate our level better. or we may have to level up even more. Rhydon's going to be pretty tough. Now, as with Blaine, I didn't want to end the battling right away. I mean, might as well see if we could get a bit of a fluky win, just because, again, I don't really think there's going to be anything super duper interesting in this battle anyway. It's simply a matter of, can we get to Rival 6 where the real challenge begins? And as it turns out, the answer is yes, but it required quite a bit of luck versus Rhydon, since I was unable to manipulate my experience points so that I don't level up. My strat is pretty ridiculous, and you'll see what I'm about to do. I attack Rhydon, but I'm waiting for it to use Horn Drill, and I'm trying for the very cheeky Mirror Move Horn Drill. Unfortunately, although it spams it a lot, I'm unable to get one for, like, eternity. But eventually, we do get it, which means there are now 2 instances in a single run where I used Mirror Move. Not just any Mirror Move, Mirror Move Horn Drill. Find an unlikelier combo you will not in any Pokemon video, because it's silly. But it worked, and we beat Giovanni below level 50, which is pretty cool. Rival 6, however, I think is going to put a big damper on this mood I have. I can go for 3 agility to see what I can do versus Pidgeot, and the critical hit makes it hard to tell what actually would have happened, but it's not a big deal. Rhyhorn takes away a lot of HP. I'm only at 43 by the time I hit Growlithe, and I can knock out both Growlithe and Execute, and very likely I'm going to be able to knock out Alakazam because I am outspeeding it. Oh, I don't. Well, that level up there once again kind of hurt, and here is where I really have to think about when do I want to use the rare candies, because it's likely going to be a struggle at the end, but I could definitely use them now. As we've done throughout this run, I'm going to try battling a few more times, see if I can get a win a little bit easier than I think. This time, however, it doesn't actually work out, and I just use the rare candies. I don't even have to use agility versus Pidgeot, and I can use it versus Rhyhorn, who doesn't like to attack all that much, and doesn't have great attacks. So now you can see just how much more damage I'm doing. It's a 3-shot versus Rhyhorn, but more importantly, it'll take us longer to level up. And as I get to Blastoise, I should mention it will even make the trainers I face in Victory Road a little bit easier and more consistent, which is good. Now against Blastoise, we don't really have to worry yet. This Blastoise does not know Blizzard. It does have Hydro Pump, but it didn't use it. The next one will have Blizzard. 437, oh, I lost a Ledge Boss. That sucks. And did I save? Yay, I actually saved. A lot of times I lose to Ledge Boss, then I have to battle Rival 6 again. So, hooray, half victory. Overtime points. But anyway, yeah, I mean, even before the champion, Loralee, even with her really subpar team, is going to be terrible. Dugong and Cloyster, even without Ice Beam, are good enough, especially Cloyster, who has crazy high defense. And at level 59, I just don't think I stand a chance. I'll show you some early battles, but I have a feeling we're just going to have to level up a ton. And I have a feeling the next part of the video is going to go something like, I tried to beat Loralee and I couldn't, a few times over. Alrighty, so this is the first try. I'm at level 61, and Dugong is just going to go for Aurora Beam. Even with agility, okay, that's a crit. So let's try again. Okay, so this time I'm going to go for agility because I want to see, even with that badge boost. Okay, well, good. Oh, wow, it went for rest turn too. We can actually get by Dugong, which is pretty incredible. But yeah, there is no chance we're getting by Cloyster. I mean, even if I was smart and used 3 agilities during the rest turns, Cloyster, even if we got a critical hit, unfortunately, badge boost glitch and critical hits do not stack in Generation 1. It's one or the other, which is why I often don't want critical hits. But the long and the short of it is, we're going to have to level up and take way less damage versus Dugong. And I do think the agility is smart because of rest, and it decreases the amount of damage done to us, which, you know, it's a good thing. Okay, so let's try a few more attempts versus Loralee. I'm at level 65. And I'm going to go for agility, Aurora Beam. Okay, I'm at 53 HP. That's way better. But Growl is not what I want to see. I'm going to have to battle Loralee a bunch of times to get one where I get rest. Well, another thing actually that can theoretically happen, and it's very strange, I can get an Aurora Beam turn 1. That always happens. But then I get Growl Mist turn 2. And now I can see, all right, well, that just doesn't do enough. I need the rest. Unfortunately, I would do this battle, I don't know how many times. I even got a crit in this battle, and then a crit versus Cloyster. But I get the Aurora Beam attack drop, and I still lose. And for the record, in all these battles I did now at level 67, not a single time did Dugong go for rest turn 2. That seems to have been a bit of a lucky break we got right off the bat. You'll also notice I'm not even bothering going for agility. I'm just trying to knock it out right away, which doesn't really matter at all because I'm not even close to winning. Now, while there are a ton of optional trainers in red and blue, we are starting to run out. I'm at level 71, and I'm still not really making much headway. I mean, sure, I'm objectively doing better versus the first two Pokemon, but I'm not actually knocking out the Cloyster, and it's not as if Slowbro is going to be a complete joke either. This is where things get a little concerning, because if I can't even beat Lorelie, I can't do the thing where I battle the Elite Four over and over again. Oh, wait, I'll finish that thought. I got rest. Okay. Oh, I should have gone for agility. All right, too excited there, J-Rose. But I'm able to knock out Cloyster? Ooh, Roar Beam Biss. Okay, well, I'm able to knock out Cloyster, and I might even knock out Slowbro. Look at me, I'm getting to Jinx. Huge progress here. Oh my god, I got to Lapras. And yeah, that's about how that went. But sorry, to finish the thought I was making, if I can't consistently get to Lapras or something, it actually is very time-consuming and inefficient just to lose to Dugong over and over and over. Ooh, nice crit. Over and over and over again. So, oh god, and this is why I hate Aurora Beam, lowers attack. And this is what normally happens, right? Cloyster just two-shots me. And so I can try for good luck, but realistically, I think I need more levels, and I don't really have many places to get them. I believe at this point I have battled every optional trainer in the game, and it's gotten me to level 73. And I'm still, okay, actually interesting. So see how Aurora Beam did just over half without the agility? This is where agility can come in handy because I can reduce the damage against me and deal a bit more to Cloyster. It might make sense. Unfortunately, this is still the most common event. We go for Drill Peck, Aurora Beam hits, we go for another Drill Peck, and even if I have the agility, I can't tank Cloyster. I mean, this one I didn't, but I can't. I can't tank Cloyster and Dugong both using Aurora Beam. I've been at Lorelie for almost a real-world hour. I mean, training a bit too. Ooh, nice crit. And I've only made it... Ooh, nice crit too! And I've only made it once... Oh, bad growl. All right, I'm going to go for agility. And I'm going to mimic withdraw... Okay, actually, I don't want to mimic withdraw. I was thinking for badge boost, but I can't have my attack lowered. So, all right, I have amnesia. I'm just going to go... Oh, wow. Although it used withdraw, I don't even know what my attack is like. Okay, nice. Good crit. And with amnesia, I don't take that. So we have made it to Lapras twice. And in neither attempt did we come particularly close to knocking out Lapras. This run has been over 2 hours long. One of the longest runs ever. And I haven't beaten Lapras. There actually were some trainers left in the Pokemon Mansion. And if you can believe it, we're battling wild Pokemon. That's how bad things have gotten. I'm willing to look for calciums and battle wild Pokemon because I simply don't know what else to do. And unlike in Victory Road where there are rock Pokemon, the Pokemon here are fairly high level and all get one shot. But that's the strat right now. Can you believe it? In a solo run that is supposed to be about speed, we're battling random wild Pokemon. I know it's happened before, I know it happened for Geodude, but it isn't a very common occurrence. I have no idea if Sean counted the attempts, but finally at level 78, you knew we had to win. You knew a win had to happen. It doesn't happen here. These are battles where I'm still trying things out and losing, but eventually I discover something. Right now, it's a range, but Double Edge one-shots Dugong at level 78. And it two-shots Cloyster, but we get an attack drop, which is brutal. Now, in theory, we can just get some critical hits and win. In practice, there's no way that's actually happening. Although, we actually knock out the Jinx. Oh, wow. Never mind, that's exactly what happened. Let's go! We didn't need a crit for Jinx, and we got the crit versus Lapras. This is huge. This is genuine progress, and not like in a moral victory kind of way. I mean, we have experience points now, and we're going to get more by beating Bruno. Because even though Bruno's Onyxes are annoying, wow, that actually did a lot with a crit, they don't have much attack, and I don't have to worry too much about them. And then I can gain the experience points from Hitmonchan, and Hitmonlee, and, oh wow, Gen 1 miss, and a second Onyx, and eventually Machamp, and all that is really good. Now I'm at level 79. That's going to make Lorelee even easier. Hooray! Now I do need to be careful here not to use any elixirs, which is why I've used all the PowerPoint ups, because I want to keep these battles and I know I'm not going to win. Now, funny enough, Agatha is actually going to be kind of a joke. Normally, well, actually, if I get hit with confusion by a Golbat, it's going to be less of a joke. But assuming that doesn't happen again, oh, we don't one-shot Arbok yet either, but that will probably happen. Her Pokemon are outsped, and they don't have great defense. So for the first time ever, we have a really good matchup with a terrible Pokemon. I mean, I'm at level 80, but yay. Lance is sometimes very cheesable. This is not one of those cheesable battles. A crit makes it nice, and then against Dragonair, I want to see, ooh, we do one-shot with Drill Peck, so we might not actually have to cheese. Aerodactyl can get, though, critical hit Hyper Beam, and it can confuse me, which sucks. Critical hit Bite, and then Hyper Beam. Critical hit Hyper Beam. That was something that I definitely was worried about and don't really have a defense for. We just kind of need to knock out Aerodactyl quicker than it can use crit Hyper Beam, and it's fast enough that it's going to get a ton of crits. But notice I saved 8-12. So we have 2 hours before we're in Pidgey territory, but we're already one of the slowest Pokemon in Generation 1. Now, if you're a frequent watcher of my videos, you might expect me to skip back to Lance unless I come up with a new strategy. But it's important to note that our Lorelee victory was very lucky. And right now, what I'm actually doing is battling Lorelee again and again and again and again. Now, if I don't get a battle where I knock out enough of her Pokemon, I'll reset. But if I get a battle that goes deep, then I don't bother resetting. I take the experience points and I just save again. The time is adding up. We're at 8:30. Tick tock, tick tock. I don't actually know how many attempts it took till I actually beat Lorelee, but you can see I'm at level 82. This is going to help immensely with some damage ranges and, you know, just, man, it's funny. Every time I win, I get my attack lowered, which is the worst thing that can happen. It's very funny it's worked out that way. But this is now twice it's going to happen. Spoiler, but like, you know, and at 9 HP, I was actually just expecting to get the experience points, but that critical hit is what allowed me to win. 10 minutes between wins versus Lorelee. Kind of crazy. Now, there's no real point in showing Bruno and Agatha, so I'm going to skip ahead to Lance. We had a fairly good battle the first time. The second time, Drill Peck actually one-shots, but crit. We level up. Drill Peck one-shots Dragonair. And the big one is, after this Dragonair, Aerodactyl. So, Double Edge. Ooh, well, we've made it to the champion, guys. Pretty sure. Go for Drill Peck. Okay, actually, crit Hyper Beam may have knocked me out, so maybe it wasn't my best decision. But we have made it to the champion. We are at level 83, which is, or 84, excuse me. That's insane. I'm going to use an elixir here because I still have plenty to spare. I can still save because I only need one. Winning here would be great, but I have my doubts. So, I'm going to go Drill Peck. It doesn't one-shot Pidgeot. We get a crit against us. I'm going to go Agility. It goes Whirlwind. Agility again. Mirror Move Agility. All right, I'm +2 badge boosts. A one-shot Alakazam, easy. Rhydon, it's going to be a little annoying. What do I want to do against Rhydon? I really don't have a great strat. Drill Peck, Horn Drill. I could do the Mirror Move thing, but I think Drill Peck makes sense. Fury Attack does 10 per hit, 3 hits. And then, all right, I get hit with Tail Whip. Okay, 124 to Arcanine. 124 to Arcanine. Double Edge or Drill Peck. Gonna go Drill Peck. Just missed knocking it out. Okay. So that's 3 badge boosts, by the way. We don't knock out Arcanine. We do knock out Executor, but they're the level up. Very inopportune. And I go for Double Edge. With badge boosts, I think we could have done it. Sadly, that level up came at the worst time. We cannot knock out the Blastoise. We cannot tank the Blizzard. And we have to go and do this stuff all over again. 8 hours, 50 minutes. Are we going to beat Pidgey? I think so. But the fact it's this close is, well, I guess it's an indictment of how bad these first form bird Pokemon are. Sadly, it's not as if every battle's a walk in the park. I lost quite a few more times to Lorelee. Yes, that still happens. But even Lance isn't safe because we can just run out of HP. This is the problem with Double Edge. It's a double-edged sword. Does a lot of damage, take a lot of recoil, and I just didn't have enough even to tank a slam. In-game time now over 9 hours. After one hopefully final Lorelee loss, we make it to the champion, and I really would like to win here. I'm at level 88, so I'm going to go for Drill Peck, crit one-shot. Okay, I'm going to go for Drill Peck, easy one-shot, and there's the level up to 89. 1 agility, Fury Attack now doing 8 per attack. Leer misses, Leer misses. That's okay, so I have 3 badge boosts. Tail Whip misses, so still 3 badge boosts. Fury Attack, I'm at 190, still 3 badge boosts. Arcanine, Drill Peck, okay, it knocks it out. Now it's just Blaster. I think we got this. I'm going to go for Double Edge. All right, well, the sad thing was, if we didn't level up at the worst time, we probably would have done this a few levels earlier. But, man, Spearow just did not have a good time versus the Elite Four. Going into the Elite Four is actually a really good first form Pokemon, but once that Elite Four started, it just had no matchup. Level 89, 920 in-game time. Ugh, that's rough. It's not going to put Spearow in the absolute worst tier of finishing Pokemon. It'll put it 3rd worst among Pokemon that actually finished, though, which is pretty bad. But you know what's pretty good? I just realized we only have 7 more first form Pokemon left. That's just, it's crazy considering that's originally what I wanted to do for this challenge. But with that said, I have more videos to make. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you all soon in the next video, and take care.